Hey everybody, this is Ray Flick, television beat writer for Bleeding Cool. I'd like to welcome you guys to a really great opportunity I had to review a very cool and interesting new web series that's coming up. I was able to check it out through the 2018 Tribeca Film Festival. Now, it was part of the Now Showcase, which was a great opportunity for up-and-coming projects to really get a chance to spotlight and show everybody what they have to offer. And the one I got a chance to check out, well, at least the first 3 episodes of, was Driver Ed. And again, I'm going to be glancing to my cheat sheets, so I'll own up. But I had a chance to check out the first 3 episodes, The Lie, Time to Go, and Sweet Jody. And just to give you a little background, even though you'll see on the post, I have a lot of the background information, especially the important information about the music from the series, which was incredible. I'll just jump right to that from the start. It just is its own character, and I want to do them justice, so make sure you check them out. But it stars as Ed, Jacob A. Ware, Sweet Jody, Eddie Diaz, and as Ed's friend Layla Koch. I hope I'm getting everybody's name pronounced properly. But let me give you a little overview, and also as I go through, I'm going to tell you what my thoughts were about the series. Right off the bat, again, as I said before, if I apply my 6-episode rule as I try to apply to regular television series, this was a great start, the first 3 episodes. I will say this is my first time formally reviewing a web series, so it was very interesting, digesting episodes in about 3-minute bites. It was just, but again, for this format and for where at least I think the show might be going, I think the format serves itself really, really well. But essentially what we have is we have Ed. And Ed has gotten himself in a little bit of a dilemma because Ed has a girlfriend by the name of Abby. Well, online girlfriend, Abby. And Abby is a big NASCAR fan. So, of course, in typical fashion, what does Ed do? Ed says to Abby, hey, guess what? I'm a professional driver. I'm a professional driver to the point where I'm going to send you Photoshop pictures of myself winning professional races. So, that's not enough of a problem. What we find out as Ed is confessing all of his problems and trying to get some help from his friend Layla is, oh, he doesn't have a license. Yeah, Ed can't even drive. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but yeah, Abby, she's coming in next week, and as Ed says, I can't even pick her up from the airport. So what is the plan to do? The plan is he's going to take some driver's lessons, and in about a week or so time, he's going to get that driver's license because he's going to prove to Abby once and for all that he's a driver. Seems logical, seems sensible, of course. So he goes to the phone book and he finds Sweet Jody's driving school, and he makes his appointment. And the next day he gets up early, and interestingly enough, he heads to the public library. Heads to the public library, gets a copy of Tomorrow's Drivers, which I just think was very interesting. And this is where we see I can't think of a better way to phrase this than a long-ass walk, as Ed is looking over the book and reading over the materials, and we hear in various voiceovers what he's talking about. And again, I like this. I liked this moment because of what it was telling us in the very beginning, which is symbolically this is going to be Ed who's going to be going on some type of journey, and buckle up, because this journey is going to involve a lot more than just him getting his driver's license so he can pick up his online girlfriend next week at the airport. So we see that. A little heavy-handed at times, yes, absolutely. But I gotta say again, this is one of those instances where hearing Jacob Ware's voiceover and really selling those scenes, it makes it okay, because just the way he's presenting the material from the book, it helps give us a better understanding of Ed. So I didn't think it was a throwaway scene in any manner. I think it could have been shaved down a little bit, but again, I think Ware's performance helped give us a better understanding of the character in the time that was going on. He gets to Sweet Jody's, which, interestingly enough, his appointment's at 1. He gets there at 9. So I think there's a lot we can already start reading into that. So, well, better else thing to do than just to kind of fall asleep and pass out. And he wakes up just in time for his 1 o'clock appointment to be introduced to his driving instructor. And we see that he's told that his driving instructor is Sweet Jody, and Ed turns, and we see from Ed's looking at Ed this shocked, disgusted look on his face as we go to be continued. Cliffhanger moment, folks. I know I'm bracing for I have no idea what's even going to happen, what possibly could happen, and 5 seconds later, I have to appreciate any show that just blatantly wears their cheap, false cliffhanger on their sleeve, because it was just Ed sneezing. That's all it was. It was just a build-up to a sneeze. I got to appreciate that. They suckered me in. And as one of these shows that's billed itself as being offbeat and surreal, you kind of go in expecting unexpected stuff. And I think that's what I like about, before I continue on, what I've liked about the first 3 episodes of this web series is that it's these little slices and chunks that they've given me that keep me wanting to watch, because I just know that what I'm seeing isn't necessarily all that I'm going to be seeing. And I'm very curious to see where that ends up and where that ends up going. Now, we see Ed sees Jody, and just the opposite of thinking he's atrocious and ugly, we see that Ed finds Jody kind of sweet. And we start to see maybe where the nickname comes from. And we also see from Jody's reaction, he wasn't expecting Ed. And I thought it very interesting, the chemistry and connection there. And they say in the description about how Ed realizes his sexuality is very fluid. There's there's a sweetness and a hotness to the initial chemistry between Ed and Jody and what they have going on there. Especially the apple scene. I think that's the best combination. We can go into for days about the symbolism of the apple. But the idea of just Ed bringing his teacher an apple, and Jody owning up to the idea that he didn't have anything for Ed, so giving her the apple back. But the meaning behind it, I could see how there could almost be a sadness into that scene, but I think there was also, I think, a closeness and a sense of the personal that was in that scene also. I thought that was very effective. And then if we're gonna go to the blatant innuendo, let's strap on the moment where Jody's hand touches Ed, and we see the chemistry and reaction between them, the exasperated looks on their faces, the start your engines. We see where things are going at this point, going into the end of the third episode. And again, it has me fascinated and intrigued. First, the fact I want to see how much of this limited series is going to be built around the actual driving instructions. The chemistry and the interactions between Jody and Ed, I'd like to see where they build and go. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot more things in play than what we've seen up to this point, because of the way we're just being fed small little increments. And let's be honest, I think we've all seen enough Catfish to know this idea of online girlfriend who you're just meeting for the first time. That's one of those things that doesn't necessarily always go so well. So again, I gotta say, I would definitely, again, applying my 6-episode rule, I would definitely continue watching the series. It is definitely, I think, a series that you should consider checking out. It's refreshing and it's different. It's not like anything that I've been watching, and I know that we can say that about a lot of things, but as web series go, and as somebody who hasn't, can either run hot or cold, this is something that I would make it a point of checking out and tracking down. And again, I give Ware a lot of credit. The brief time that Diaz is on the screen as we see him in the third episode, just from what I've screened, again, it's just there's I don't know, there's a nice chemistry between those two that I really like. And I gotta say, Layla, just was that best friend vibe that you just like right from the start. There was just something about her character that I really bought into from the very beginning. So I'd love to see more of her too. I love the music. Again, I cannot say enough for it. Please make sure you're checking out their information, because I've listed on the site. But again, that's almost an additional character, and it really just helps set a tone and a mood. So again, cannot rave enough about this. Really, really, really excited about it. It was so unexpected from the typical things that I generally review, like The Walking Dead and Preacher and everything else. It's just a nice little slice of something different. And I think it best exemplifies the great stuff that goes on at Tribeca Film Festival. So major plus, guys, definitely check out. Again, that's Driver Ed, starring Jacob A. Ware, Eddie Diaz, and Layla Koch. Again, checked it out as part of Tribeca Film Festival. So again, all the information you'll find on this site. My name, Ray Flook, television beat writer for Bleeding Cool. Thank you for joining me for this little special edition. Also, make sure that you're checking out bleedingcool.com for all the cool stuff that we cover, from television and film to comic books to video games to everything and anything under the sun that's in the pop culture landscape. So please make sure you check us out. Guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you on the inner tubes. Take care.